Hey guys, Angry Beast here, bringing you some more gameplay on the map Asylum using the Gewehr here with a telescopic sight. And you don't see the telescopic sight too often in this game for a very good reason. It's a very, very bad version of the ACOG scope. You can still see the iron sights through it, and it just doesn't really have a good way to use it. But it is usable, don't get me wrong. It's just a difficult way to use a weapon. It adds recoil to the point where you have to literally shoot really, really slow to be effective with it, which is frustrating at times, but it does have its point in the game. On weapons like the Gewehr or the what's that weapon? The SVT-40. It's quite effective. Throughout this first half of this entire game, this one guy with his Thompson is just destroying me with a knife, and I knife him a whole bunch of times, and my knives just don't register. And that's one of the issues with this game. The knife detection is subpar to any other Call of Duty that I can think of. It'll do the lunge animation like you're about to destroy him, but nothing happens, and that happens quite frequently. There is this one hacker in this game. There wasn't much I could do about him. He doesn't become too much of a big deal. He ends up rage quitting somewhere halfway through the game, and we do end up winning this game, obviously. When you're playing on Asylum, what I think is the best way to do is to try and play defensive on it. It's not worth your while to try and rush down in the center of the flags, because you're just going to get destroyed by all the submachine gunners and the snipers up top. But generally speaking, this is a good map for rushing, at least on a TDM or a DOM setup. But in a war, you're all looking at the same point, so rushing is not in your best interest on this map. I've had the most success just playing defensive, but later on in this game I do switch up to a Thompson class, and I go ham on people the second half of the round, showing that you can play aggressively on this map as well. Unfortunately, for the first half of this game, I really can't put up too much of a streak with my Gewehr, simply because there's always something that happens, whether it be getting gunned down by an MP40 or a missed knife, which sucks, but you know, it's what happens in this game, and that's what the telescopic sight's good for. Medium range engagements and longer range across hallways like that, where I can shoot him enough times to destroy him. I have no clue how that guy survived all those bullets. I must have been shooting through cover or something, but that's a little bit ridiculous with a rifle. That's one of the issues with this game, is that the hit detection is also subpar to what some of the current games are. Especially when you're using the semi-automatic rifles. For whatever reason, they don't do as much penetration damage as they should. I was shooting that guy who was right behind that wall, and I really couldn't penetrate him. As you can see, another issue with this game is the spawn. Oh, that wasn't a spawn, excuse me. But this game does have some pretty bad spawn traps. But just like Call of Duty 4, it isn't too big of a deal if you know how to get out of them. So overall, this game is older, and it does have its major amount of flaws. But it's worth it. This game's a lot of fun, and pick up a nice headshot on the guy on second chance. I don't know about second chance in this game. In some situations, it seems like it's overpowered. In others, it just seems like I just gotta shoot you an extra time. When I'm using a submachine gun, I think second chance is no big deal. But when I'm using a rifle like the Gewehr, and I shoot all my bullets into you to kill you through cover, and you drop in a second chance, it's very frustrating. But most of the time, it isn't too big of a deal. You just fire an extra bullet or two into them, and they're dead. And yeah, that's one of the most important skills to have in the game, is knowing how and when to stop shooting, because if you don't know when to stop shooting, then you won't be able to get the kill. You're either overshoot or you won't shoot enough, and I do that a lot. But personally, I shoot 3 bullets and expect them to drop, and when they don't, I get a little bit frustrated. But you know, it's just one of those things where you have to figure it out, because Juggernaut throws a pin in the loop, and it makes it so that you can't really kill in the same amount of bullets. And that's a skill that's really learned over time, determining what people on the enemy team are using Juggernaut and how likely a person you're shooting at is running Juggernaut. It's a very, very good skill. Wings Redemption has it down on lock. In some of his live commentaries, he's just like, okay, that guy has Juggernaut, that guy doesn't. I'm not at that point, but I can't generally determine if someone's using a submachine gun with Juggernaut over a rifle with stopping power. But generally speaking, I say that the rifles are better than submachine guns in most situations. But up close, the rifles will really destroy you. I finally knifed that guy, and it's like, oh yeah, I got your gun now, haha. It's just one of those things where if you're getting constantly destroyed by a person, it's just fun to pick up the gun and just kill them with it. I'm not actually sure if I do kill them with their own gun or what, but in this game, I think that the middle flag is the hardest to get. It's just how it is. It's in such a place where both teams have very, very good lines of sight right off their spawns to it, so there really isn't much incentive for the teams to go after it because they know they're just going to get killed as soon as they run onto the flag, which can be frustrating, don't get me wrong, but it adds for a very interesting thing. Who's going to give up their life to try and take the flag first, and who's going to capitalize on that and attack while the other team is respawning? One thing I think could have made the war game mode a little bit more fun was having a little bit of a respawn delay, which is missing from this game mode. For maps like this that are rather small, I think that it could add a different level, a different dynamic to it. Because when you have a respawn delay, it means that you can't just run and die all the time. You have to count more on your ability to kill than your ability to just respawn and get to the flag and count on numbers. But anyways, this game is a number game, and if you're not willing to put yourself onto the flag and put yourself in harm's way, you're never gonna win. Because generally speaking, one person's not just gonna be able to cap a flag, and that's unfortunate. But it's how the game rolls, and it adds a different feel to it than domination or a headquarters or something like that, where one person can't win it for the entire team. You have to have a team effort, you have to have your teammates killing, and you have to have your teammates killing and capturing at the same time, which can add for a little bit of difficulty with the game, and it just makes it a fun game mode overall. At this point, we've driven them back to one of their other flags, but when you're at this point in the map, it's a very difficult way to capture the flag because their whole team is spawning back there, and there's very few entrances into there. And I've basically at this point just said, let's give it up. We'll take them back at the B flag or middle flag. And that's basically what you have to do. You have to basically try to find a way to push the flags in such a way that you're not going to get destroyed as soon as you take the flag. Because if you take the flags without being in the proper position for the next flag, then you're going to get destroyed on this next flag, and you're just going to end up getting pushed back and lose all your momentum. That's a big part of this game, is learning how to time your attacks for the middle flag in such a way that it synchronizes with where the enemies are. I pick up a PTRS here, and dude, I love this gun. I haven't gotten it unlocked yet, but I picked it up a couple times, and it's just a lot of fun to use, and it can blow people's limbs off. There's been no other sniper in Call of Duty that can blow people's arms and legs off, and that's just awesome. Now, I think, personally, that if all guns could shoot people's arms and legs off, we'd have one of the best Call of Duties ever. But unfortunately, this is the only game where you can blow people's arms and legs off in multiplayer. But, you know, it comes at a cost. You can only do it with the double-barrel shotgun and the snipers. And, oh yeah, double throwback grenade kill. I love getting throwback grenade kill. There's just something about it that's humiliating when you throw someone's grenade back at them. I don't have toss back on in this game. I generally find that it's a useless perk because most of the time people cook their grenades and you won't even have time to pick it up to even reset the fuse. Or people will just toss it right away and not even worry about cooking it, and you can just throw it without any worries. My pistol in this game is the Colt 1911. Generally speaking, I would run the P38 or the Tokarev TT13 or 19 or whatever that thing is, the Tokarev, simply because it gives me better accuracy than the Colt. The Colt has a unique feel to it that lets me do that, and it ends up having a lot of headshots. And that's what the weapon is good for. If you want a headshot pistol, definitely go with the Colt, because its recoil leads to a lot of headshots. At this point, we've driven them back to the final flag, and I think they do make a push back towards the middle. And this game does go into overtime, I remember that much. This is actually a couple of weeks old, but it's just one of those things where the war game is just got a different feel than anything else. Unfortunately, I get destroyed by a sticky grenade there. A bug with this game that was kind of interesting is that sticky grenades actually cannot... they can't stick to you, which is an interesting move. I never expected that sticky grenades would not be able to stick to you, but I tried it and they just bounce off people and they stick to everything else. I think that's kind of funny. But for this map, generally speaking, I think the LMGs are a better choice than the rifles, because there's a lot of thin walls that you can shoot through. All these brick walls here can be easily shot through with a BAR with deep impact, simply because they're not that thick. And if you have a LMG with deep impact, you can destroy people through walls. So it doesn't even matter if you have stopping power or not. You can run Juggernaut or double tap with them. And you can pretty much destroy people through walls on this map for days. The DP28 with deep impact is a very good candidate for this map, simply because you can shoot through so much cover on it. And it's always fun when you're jumping over a wall and you knife a person at the same time, because it's like, okay, who's going to pull their knife button faster? And you both know it as soon as you jump over the flag, and it's like, okay, I'm spamming the B button the whole time there. But this gameplay is about to go into overtime, and overtime is an interesting part of the game, because at this point they've made a comeback, which means that we have to make sure that we can win it in overtime. I expected this whole game to just make a big push at the end and win the game, but you know that's not what happened. And sometimes things don't go according to plan, and when they don't, we really have to learn to regroup and capture the flags in such a way that we can win the game. I think I ended the first round something like 39 and 23, which isn't the best score, but it's me trying to rush with a rifle, which generally isn't the best idea. But I think the game actually ends up being like a 50 and a 29, just as a little bit of a spoiler for the second round. I go absolutely ham in the second round on these people. And that's what the submachine guns are good for. They're good for doing this. They're good for rushing right off the start and just getting behind people and just wreaking havoc, man. You don't even need a suppressor in this game. Because the submachine guns are so powerful up close, so sorry about me going wreaking havoc. I forgot about this shotgunner guy. He pretty much destroys me for the first couple lives of this game, but yeah, the submachine guns are good for getting behind people and wreaking havoc. That's all they're really good for in this game. They're not that good as a long-range weapon, which is how they should be. I've said it before, if the submachine guns are up to the level they are in this and Black Ops 2, it'll be a very fast-paced game, because guess what? No one wants to use an assault rifle when they can use an SMG that'll kill in 2 bullets up close. And the rifles can kill in 2 bullets, but they're semi-automatic. So I think that this game did a great job of weapon balance overall. There were some issues with the submachine guns, like MP40 being a one-hit kill to the head. Had a little bit of a flaw with it, but I have no problems with the SMG being a 2-hit kill up close. It adds for a fast-pacedness that you don't see without stopping power, or a 2-hit kill weapon up close, and just leads to being a very fun, fast-paced game. With artillery on this map, generally speaking, I don't like to call it in, because it pretty much shakes up the entire map for your entire team, and it ends up just harming you more than it helps you. One issue with this game and Black Ops is that the airstrikes they actually will shake up your teammates' vision, not just your own, which is unfortunate, but there isn't too much you can do about it. But you can leverage that to your advantage. If you want to be a troll and a core TDM, just drop it on all your teammates and just watch them just get mad at you, and it's kind of fun. But I'm not gonna lie, it's very frustrating when someone does it to you. Someone who doesn't know how to use artillery calls it in right on top of your team, and it just ends up with the artillery not being too useful in this game. But I hope in Black Ops 2 that they have some revolutionary kill streaks. So one thing that I'm excited for is the X-47 Pegasus, which has been confirmed. It was in the reveal trailer, and it's just an amazing thing. If I remember to, I'll link a Wikipedia article in the description so you can just see what it is. It's basically a stealth version of the AC-130, and it just is a beast, man. It's got the same look as a B-2 bomber, but it's got a lot heavier armament, and it's got guns instead of bombs. It's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited for it. One thing that I do hope the Black Ops 2 does well, though, is the submachine guns, as I've said many times before, and the shotguns, man. If shotguns aren't up to par in Black Ops 2, then I think I'm going to be a little bit upset. For the past Call of Duties, it seems like the shotguns have just decreased in effectiveness. In Black Ops, they were pretty useless, and same in Modern Warfare 3. In this game, they were pretty bad. In Modern Warfare 2, I think they got them right. But anyways, guys, the gameplay's over. It ends up being a 52 and a 27 with the Gewehr and the Thompson. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Angry Beast, and I'm signing out.